So you have the Shields Cup that's starting tonight, sending my support and solidarity for the Canadian women who are playing there. Um, I know this fan is supporting you in your quest for what you're fighting for. If you want to research more, look into that. Again, we can have a further video on that. There's too many random things that keep popping up, but there will be a full video for that sometime later, early next week. But kind of slipping under the radar is two things. One, CONCACAF has changed its format for tournaments. And we didn't realize it was, but we've already seen it. And also, the women U20s are in April, the qualifying round. And this is where we get to it. So, if you like this type of content, leave a like, subscribe, kind of go from there. So CONCACAF is changing its format. The U20s, as you see them now, this will be the final time you see them, at least for this quadrennial, right? So between this and the next World Cup, it looks like it's going to stay this way. And they're important because CONCACAF has moved to essentially the same format that the women used for their CONCACAF Debut Gold Cup championships. So there are qualifier groups, groups of 5 or groups of 6. Each team plays each other once. In youth terms, it'll all just be in a tournament setting, so round robin that way, versus at the senior level where you'd have a mix of games, both home and on the road. And the top 6 group winners, so the winners of each group will move on to the championship round, where the top 2 teams of the previous year's tournament are currently situated. Now, how does this affect Canada? Because Canada, on the women's side, has finished in 3rd in the last 2 tournaments, losing to the US in the U17s and Mexico in the U20s. It means they're going to be in the qualifying rounds, which means they'll be in pot 1 of that. And essentially, it's the same as the round robin, but similar to how you had the CONCACAF Debut Championship. So groups of 5 and some groups of 6 will play each other once. The winner of each group will then move on to the championship round, where all 8 teams will be placed into 2 groups of 4, play each other in a group. Top 2 teams move on to the semis immediately. And because of that, winners go on to the FIFA World Cup, and then the runners-up play in a 3rd place game. Winner of that goes on to the FIFA World Cup. Now, I'm not sure if we're going from 3 to 4. FIFA is expanding the field for the FIFA World Cup for the 20s in 2024 from 16 to 24. So with that being the case, this does open the field up a little bit. So this will be very interesting to kind of look at. So for Canada's perspective, the cycle begins already. You have the U17s who are coming up, and you have some young U20s, specifically Florian Jourde and Olivia Smith, who would be still eligible as it's in 2024. And because it's 24, it would be 04s would be eligible, I believe. So you'd be able to add those 2 players to the likes of the U17 team, which will now become the U20 team from the NDC. So your Amanda Allens, Ella Ortiz, Rosa Malouz, Annabelle Chukwu, plus some of the U15s who are trying to move up, or maybe they take it a little bit slower with that. But it does change the formatting, but also change how qualifiers work. So how is this important for the men's U20? Essentially, your rankings are going to matter. So finishing top 2 does improve your ranking chances. And because of that, being able to make the finals of this could guarantee yourself a bye, which means more time to have friendlies, more time to recruit players. Finishing top 2 in these tournaments now matter because based off the rankings, you don't have to go through the grind of the tournament, which can be either good or bad, depending on how you think of it. But this just came across the wire a couple days ago, and because of that, it really does make the U20s a little bit more interesting. But now we know what's happening. So to kind of run through as well, because we do have the groups that are set, Canada is now in, we're going to go to that because we have it here. Canada is now in Group A, and their teams in their group are El Salvador, Cuba, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Martinique, and the US Virgin Islands. Now, CONCACAF's logic with that is to have more games. So instead of 3 guaranteed games giving everyone 4, maybe sometimes 5 games, which I understand from a logic standpoint, it makes sense. And you're trying to get more competitive games. However, if you looked at U20, I'm not even the U20, if you look at the senior women's, I mean, you try to give other teams more competitive games. Haiti was putting up 20 goals in their group for kicks. So it gives teams more games, but you still see the disparity, especially when you have a team like Canada, who should be, on paper at least, the best of these groups here. And these groups, it'll be interesting to see if this works. We're probably going to see this for this next 4 years, and then hopefully they'll be able to look at it, see the pros and cons, and decide to run with it or not. So this tournament, April 14th to the 23rd, that's when it's happening, and every team is just playing each other once, and the top team goes up. So more than likely, you're playing 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, or 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, and giving each other those days to play. Top group goes in. So here are the groups. So we already gave you Group A. Group B is Haiti, Panama, St. Kitts and Nevis, Curacao, St. Martins, and the Bahamas. Group C is Dominican Republic, Guyana, Suriname, Grenada, and Dominica. Group D is Puerto Rico, Trinidad and Tobago, Cayman Islands, Antigua and Barbuda, and Guadeloupe. Group E, Jamaica, Honduras, Bermuda, Anguilla, and French Guiana. In Group F, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Nicaragua, St. Lucia, and Belize. So those are the groups. And again, to reiterate, the new format is win your group, you move on to the championship round, similar to how it was with the Women's Gold Cup. And then 2 groups of 4, top 2 advance. And in advancing, go to the semis. The finalists qualify for the World Cup, and then the 3rd place team also qualifies for the World Cup. We'll see if a 4th team comes in. It really does come down to whether or not, with the expanded field, if Concacaf gets another spot. But we will see. For now, guys, just want to bring this to your attention because it came up real quick for me. But at least you guys get to see it, and it's there. So I'm going to stop rambling for now, guys. First of all, do you like this format? How do you find your team's chances? And this is essentially moving a lot of the U7 teams up to U20 immediately. So the development of the players, the coach, the familiarity is going to be very interesting to see. But we will see. I'm going to stop rambling for now. Guys, let me know in the comments. Bye-bye for now.